Hello everyone. Today we are going to embark on a life or death journey that many people over 60 don't realize they are embarking on every day. Did you know, just by sitting or sitting for too long, you can't move for a few minutes? No crash, no warning, just a quiet session, and then a fight to the finish. Stay until the end to understand why thousands of seniors are paralyzed, have dementia, and even die, all because of something seemingly harmless, sitting for too long. This video is not to tease you, it is to save you, and sometimes a timely piece of information can save a life. Let's get started.
Imagine waking up, stepping into the shower, and going through your usual morning routine just like any other day. But unbeknownst to you, there's a hidden danger in your shower that could trigger a stroke. Sounds impossible, right? Well, you might be surprised to learn that something as simple as the temperature of your shower water can have significant consequences on your health. I recently heard from a 72-year-old woman named Mary who had been taking showers for decades without a second thought. One morning after stepping out of her shower, she felt a sudden wave of dizziness, a headache, and difficulty speaking clearly. She thought it was nothing more than a passing discomfort, but within hours, she was at the hospital diagnosed with a mild stroke. It's easy to think that strokes are something that only happen to people who are seriously unhealthy, but the truth is, even minor things like your shower routine could be putting you at risk. A surprising amount of strokes in seniors are linked to the body's reaction to sudden changes in temperature. And when you're older, your body's natural ability to regulate temperature isn't as strong as it used to be, leaving you vulnerable. It's important to recognize that while a stroke can happen to anyone at any time, there are simple, actionable ways to reduce your risk, starting with your shower routine. Experts recommend that seniors pay special attention to sudden temperature changes, as these can put a strain on the cardiovascular system. In fact, studies show that abrupt shifts in temperature, such as going from a cool room into a hot shower, can cause blood pressure to spike or drop rapidly, which in turn can lead to a stroke. The American Heart Association also mentions that if your blood pressure is already high, which it tends to be more common as we age, these temperature fluctuations can be even more dangerous. So what's going on in your body when you step into the shower? Let me explain. When you expose your body to hot water, your blood vessels dilate to help regulate your internal temperature. This sudden change in circulation can cause a rapid drop in blood pressure. If your body can't adjust quickly enough, the brain may not get enough oxygen, increasing the risk of a stroke. Conversely, cold water causes the blood vessels to constrict, which can have the opposite effect, raising your blood pressure and making your heart work harder. It's these fluctuations, especially when combined with other risk factors such as high blood pressure, a history of cardiovascular issues, or even being dehydrated, that increase your vulnerability to a stroke. And often people don't realize this until something goes wrong. Don't wait for something like this to happen to you. This is why I'm sharing this information with you today. You deserve to stay healthy, sharp-minded, and in control of your body no matter your age. If you're watching this and thinking, this could be me, you're not alone. Many people don't realize how simple changes can make a huge difference. I'm here to share these tips with you so that you can make informed decisions and avoid unnecessary risks. If you found this information eye-opening, make sure to subscribe and comment below. Let me know if you've ever experienced dizziness or other symptoms in the shower, or if this is the first time you're hearing about this risk. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Okay, let's dive deeper into what's really going on when you step into the shower so you can understand the connection between your routine and the risks to your health. We'll look at the science behind these temperature changes and how they can affect your circulatory system in the next part. But before we go on, take a moment to think, are you taking precautions to protect yourself during your shower? Let's take a closer look at the science behind how your shower routine can trigger a stroke. It all begins with your body's reaction to temperature changes, which is a lot more complex than most people realize. When you step into a hot shower, the heat stimulates the blood vessels in your skin to dilate. This dilation or expansion of blood vessels allows your body to release excess heat more efficiently. However, this process can also cause a sudden drop in blood pressure, especially if your cardiovascular system isn't working at full strength. This may sound technical, but let's break it down a bit. When the blood vessels expand, your heart has to work harder to pump blood through those widened vessels. For many people, this is not an issue, but for seniors or individuals with weakened hearts or blood pressure problems, this can put too much strain on the system. In the worst-case scenario, it may lead to a temporary drop in blood flow to the brain, increasing the risk of a stroke. If you have high blood pressure, this is even more important to be aware of. High blood pressure puts extra strain on your blood vessels and heart, making your cardiovascular system less flexible and more vulnerable to sudden changes. A recent study revealed that the risk of having a stroke significantly increases when people with hypertension are exposed to rapid temperature fluctuations. This is why experts urge those with high blood pressure to be cautious with hot showers, especially if their medication or health status already puts them at risk. On the other hand, cold water can cause the opposite effect, constricting blood vessels and raising blood pressure. In people with already elevated blood pressure, this could be like putting a heavy load on a weak engine, forcing the heart to work harder and putting you at an increased risk for complications. When blood pressure spikes rapidly, it could cause the blood vessels in your brain to burst or become blocked, triggering a stroke. To make things more concerning, your body's ability to adapt to these changes slows down with age. This is something many seniors don't realize until it's too late. The mechanisms your body uses to regulate temperature aren't as efficient as they were when you were younger. So if you've been used to taking a hot shower for years without thinking twice about it, this can actually catch up to you as you age. Let's talk about a case I encountered with my patient Bill. Bill was a 71-year-old man who had always been in good health. He was active, ate well, and didn't have any obvious risk factors for a stroke. But one morning, after a long hot shower, he experienced a sudden, almost crippling headache and felt faint. He also noticed that his left arm felt weak and numb. Bill dismissed it as a minor issue, but when he went to the doctor, he was told he'd had a mild stroke. The surprising part of Bill's story was that his stroke wasn't the result of something major like a heart attack or an existing medical condition. It was the result of his body's inability to handle the rapid temperature shift in the shower. Bill was a little too accustomed to hot showers, and over time this took a toll on his circulatory system. Fortunately, Bill recovered after receiving the proper treatment, but this experience changed his perspective on everyday routines. He started making small adjustments like showering in lukewarm water and avoiding sudden temperature changes. Bill's story is more common than you might think, and many seniors are at risk without even knowing it. Research from institutions like the Mayo Clinic shows that stroke risks in older adults can be significantly reduced by making small changes to daily routines. By being mindful of how your body responds to temperature shifts, you can lower your risk and take control of your health. That said, what can you do to make your shower routine safer and avoid the risks that come with it? Experts suggest several simple adjustments that can have a big impact. First, try to keep your shower water at a moderate temperature, lukewarm rather than hot. Hot water may feel relaxing, but the body's response can be more stressful than you think. Aim for a comfortable temperature that doesn't make your skin red or leave you feeling lightheaded. A good rule of thumb is to keep your shower water around body temperature, which is usually about 98.6 degrees, 37 degrees Celsius. This will keep your blood pressure from spiking or dropping too drastically. Second, take your time when transitioning from one temperature to another. If you enjoy a warm shower but need to cool down afterward, do it gradually. Avoid stepping straight into a cold blast of air or water right after a hot shower, as this can cause your blood vessels to constrict too quickly. Instead, let your body cool down slowly before changing environments. Lastly, be mindful of how you feel. If you start to feel lightheaded or dizzy, it's important to listen to your body. If your shower routine has been leaving you feeling off balance, it might be time to make adjustments before it leads to something more serious. Remember, these are simple changes that can help safeguard your health and give you the confidence to enjoy your shower routine without worrying about the risks. You have the power to control these small factors to keep your heart and brain healthy, so take charge of your routine today. I'm curious, what's the first thing you do when you step into the shower? Do you pay attention to the temperature, or is it something you haven't thought much about? Let me know in the comments below, and feel free to share if you've ever experienced any dizziness or discomfort during your shower. Let's take a moment to reflect on a common misconception. Many seniors have the belief that as long as you're in relatively good health, you don't need to worry too much about little things like shower routines. But what if I told you that making a small adjustment to how you shower could have a lasting impact on your cardiovascular health and even prevent life-threatening situations like strokes? When it comes to our health, we often focus on the big things: exercise, diet, regular checkups, but neglect the small, everyday habits that can actually have a significant effect. Your shower routine is one of those habits that often goes unnoticed, yet it plays a bigger role than most realize. I once worked with an 80-year-old woman named Ethel who had been living with high blood pressure for years. Her doctor had warned her about the importance of controlling her blood pressure, but Ethel always thought she was doing well. She took her medication regularly and had a relatively active lifestyle. However, her blood pressure was still on the higher side, and she was unaware of how her shower habits were impacting her health. One day, Ethel had a scare. After a hot shower, she suddenly felt a sharp pain in her head and began feeling very dizzy. Thankfully, her son was nearby and called for help, but it was a wake-up call. When Ethel visited the hospital, the doctors informed her that the shower's heat had caused a rapid drop in her blood pressure, putting her at risk of a stroke. The good news was that she hadn't had one, but she was advised to be more careful about her shower routine and temperature exposure. Ethel's story highlights just how easy it is to overlook something as simple as a shower temperature when it comes to your health. It's a reminder that the impact of small things can snowball into larger health problems over time. Studies show that the combination of high blood pressure and temperature fluctuations in the shower is a common culprit for triggering strokes in seniors. The American Stroke Association states that these sudden changes can cause your blood pressure to rise or fall too quickly, putting unnecessary stress on your cardiovascular system. In fact, older adults with high blood pressure are often more susceptible to such risks. The idea that these changes are harmless couldn't be further from the truth. The good news is that once you're aware of the risks, it's easy to take control and reduce the chances of a stroke or other health issue related to temperature shifts. There are several ways to make your shower routine safer and more comfortable. A crucial first step is to monitor how your body reacts when you take a shower. Does your heart rate increase significantly after you step into the hot water? Do you start feeling lightheaded or dizzy as soon as you get out? These signs indicate that your body is struggling to handle the temperature change. If you notice these reactions, it may be time to reassess your shower routine. Next, be mindful of your environment outside the shower. For example, stepping from a hot shower into a cold room can cause your blood vessels to constrict rapidly, which can increase the risk of a cardiovascular event. On the other hand, transitioning from a cold room into a hot shower may cause a sudden drop in blood pressure. So if you can try to keep the temperature of the room and your shower water consistent and comfortable. You might also consider having someone nearby when you shower, particularly if you live alone or have a history of high blood pressure or strokes. This added layer of safety can be reassuring, especially if you've experienced dizziness or fainting in the past. Another piece of advice is to stay hydrated, especially before you shower. Dehydration can cause blood pressure to drop, increasing your vulnerability to feeling lightheaded or fainting. Drinking a glass of water before you step into the shower is a simple yet effective way to ensure your body has the fluids it needs to function properly. Interestingly, experts suggest that some seniors benefit from taking cool or lukewarm showers instead of hot ones. While hot water might feel soothing, it's important to remember that your body's ability to regulate temperature isn't what it used to be. This doesn't mean you need to avoid showers altogether or turn the water to freezing, but just aim for a more moderate temperature to reduce the strain on your circulatory system. For instance, try testing your shower water before getting in to make sure it's comfortable. If it feels too hot, adjust it to a more neutral temperature. Over time, your body will thank you for it. This is one simple step you can take every day to ensure you're not unknowingly putting yourself at risk. Additionally, I want to bring up an important concept that many seniors may overlook: balance. When you're older, your body's balance can be affected by various factors, from medication side effects to changes in vision or muscle strength. Dizziness in the shower can be a result of a combination of these factors, but the temperature changes also play a significant role. If you've ever felt like you might lose your balance when you're getting out of the shower, it might not be just a coincidence. The quick temperature shifts in the water can cause disorientation, especially if you're already feeling a little off balance from other health factors. You don't have to live in fear of your shower routine. These risks are manageable with a few key adjustments. Staying aware of how your body reacts, modifying the temperature, and even making hydration a priority can help you significantly reduce your risk. So I encourage you to think about your current shower habits. Are there small changes you can make to keep your heart and brain safe? Have you noticed any signs of dizziness or discomfort in the past after showers? These are simple steps you can take today to protect yourself and feel more confident in your daily routine. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you experienced any challenges with your shower routine? What's one change you think you might try to improve your experience? Share your stories in the comments, and let's continue the conversation. Now that we've explored the science and real-life stories surrounding how your shower routine could trigger a stroke, let's dive into practical solutions. The good news is, you don't have to make drastic changes to reduce your risk. Small, thoughtful adjustments to your habits can make a big difference in keeping you safe and healthy. First, let's talk about hydration. A lot of seniors overlook the importance of staying hydrated, but it's absolutely crucial, especially when it comes to controlling blood pressure and preventing dizziness. Dehydration can cause your blood pressure to drop, which in turn can leave you feeling lightheaded or even faint in the shower. A study from the Mayo Clinic found that dehydration is one of the leading causes of dizziness and fainting in older adults. So before you even think about stepping into the shower, drink a glass of water. It doesn't take much, just a small glass before your shower can help ensure your blood pressure stays stable. Even better, if you're using a shower that's on the hotter side, make sure you're drinking water during the day to stay well hydrated overall. This simple habit can help you avoid the unpleasant feeling of dizziness that often comes with sudden temperature shifts in the shower. Next up, let's talk about the temperature. I can't stress this enough. It's important to keep your shower water at a comfortable, moderate temperature. Hot showers may feel relaxing, but they can be too much for your body to handle as you age. As we've already discussed, hot water causes your blood vessels to dilate, which lowers your blood pressure and makes you more vulnerable to dizziness and strokes. Conversely, cold water causes blood vessels to constrict and raises blood pressure. Another factor that increases your risk. You don't need to go to extremes, but aiming for a lukewarm shower is your best bet. Experts suggest a water temperature of around 98.6 degrees versus 37 degrees C, which is close to the temperature of your body. This will allow your body to function in a balanced way and prevent the sudden pressure shifts that can lead to dangerous consequences. Also, as you step out of the shower, take your time. Sudden movements after a shower can increase your chances of feeling lightheaded or dizzy. Instead of jumping up quickly, stand up slowly and allow your body to adjust. If you find yourself feeling dizzy when you stand up, it's a good idea to sit back down for a moment, take a deep breath, and let your body recalibrate before moving on. It's a small thing, but it can have a big impact on your safety. Another simple tip is to add extra support in the shower, particularly if you've noticed any instability in your balance. Non-slip mats or grab bars can be lifesavers, especially if you have difficulty keeping your balance or if dizziness is a concern. A slip or fall in the shower could lead to far more serious issues, so it's always better to be safe than sorry. For added security, you might want to have someone nearby when you shower, especially if you live alone or have health concerns such as high blood pressure. Having a friend, family member, or caregiver within reach can offer peace of mind just in case you start to feel off. While this might not be necessary every day, it's a good safety measure to keep in mind, particularly during any routine changes. You can also consider showering at a time when you don't have to rush. Mornings can be hectic, and if you're feeling stressed or in a rush, you might not be as mindful of your body's reactions to the shower. Try to carve out a few extra minutes in the morning to shower at a more relaxed pace. If you shower before bed, it can be a great way to unwind without the pressures of a busy day. And remember, when your heart and mind are at ease, your body is better able to cope with temperature changes. Lastly, I recommend you give your body time to adjust to the shower's temperature before fully immersing yourself in it. If you're sensitive to temperature changes, consider easing yourself into the water gradually. Begin with lukewarm water and then adjust it either hotter or cooler as you feel comfortable. This slower approach can help prevent that sudden shift in blood pressure and minimize any feelings of dizziness or discomfort. All of these strategies might seem small on their own, but when put together, they can dramatically reduce your risk. Protecting yourself from the dangers of sudden temperature changes in the shower Doesn't have to be complicated. By staying hydrated, adjusting the water temperature, using support in the shower, and slowing down your routine, you can safeguard your health and feel confident every time you step in or out of the shower. Let's take a moment to think about your own shower habits. Do you notice any patterns or habits that could be contributing to discomfort? Have you ever had a dizzy spell after a shower? I'd love to hear your thoughts. It's not just about theory, it's about real changes that can improve your life. If you've made changes to your routine or have any other tips to share, please drop them in the comments below. Your experience might just help someone else improve their own shower routine. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. As we wrap up this discussion about shower routines and stroke prevention, I want to leave you with something powerful. Your health is in your hands. You may not realize it, but small changes to your daily routine can have a big impact on your long-term well-being, especially as you age. Your body has always been your companion, and now it's time to listen to it more closely, honor its needs, and make adjustments that empower you to stay healthy, strong, and independent. By making thoughtful changes to your shower habits, like moderating water temperature, staying hydrated, and taking your time when transitioning from hot water to the cooler air, you're making a positive choice for your health. Every small step you take to care for your body counts. It doesn't have to be about perfection, it's about progress, and taking control of your health one thoughtful choice at a time. Remember, it's not just about avoiding strokes. It's about ensuring that you can continue living a fulfilling, independent life. A few simple changes to your shower routine can reduce your risk and help you feel more confident in your daily activities. Plus, the peace of mind that comes with knowing you're doing everything you can to take care of yourself is priceless. Whether you're making changes today or thinking about incorporating some of these tips into your routine over the next few weeks, know that you are doing something truly empowering. You deserve to feel your best, and by paying attention to these small details, you're ensuring that you can continue enjoying life on your terms. So here's my final thought for you. Health after 60 isn't just about keeping your heart beating, it's about keeping your spirit calm and your mind sharp. You have so much to look forward to, and by adopting just one or two of these habits, you're giving yourself the best chance to live your life fully and without worry. And while you're making these changes for yourself, remember to share this information with others, whether it's a family member, a friend, or a neighbor who could benefit from hearing this message. We're all in this together, and taking care of one another makes the journey even more meaningful. I encourage you to subscribe to this channel if you found this information helpful, and share your thoughts in the comments below. What changes do you think you'll be making to your shower routine? What tips do you have for others who may be struggling with this same issue? I'd love to hear from you and continue the conversation. Until next time, remember, love your body not because you fear illness, but because it's been loyal to you all these years. You are worth the effort to stay healthy, and I'm here to support you every step of the way.